All right, let's get to the second story, and arguably for many the first story today, and that is of yet another super sports star caught in the middle of a firestorm. And this one I've never even heard of, even something remotely like it. You got new and conflicting information about Manti Te'o's fake girlfriend, and the details continuing to really spell out here. And Andrew, let's have the latest. And again, this whole thing came out because, on Deadspin, a report comes out, and for those who don't know, in a lot of cases, it's like the TMZ of the sports world, and then the thing just picked up speed here minute by minute.
Plus, he kept referencing this girlfriend in the interviews leading up to the national championship game. This was not exactly just a private thing for him. The latest twist is leading more people to wonder just how much the star linebacker knew before revealing the truth to his school and to the public. It's a little bit like a murder mystery, only without the murder. The pieces of that bizarre fake girlfriend hoax involving Manti Te'o are coming together. Te'o is still keeping quiet, cameras catching just a glimpse of him in Florida. But ESPN's Outside the Lines is now reporting that another man fell victim to the same hoax. This man says his cousin was duped in 2008, falling in love with the same fictional woman.
Even when they showed pictures of Lene, it was the same pictures.
Inside Edition caught up with the real woman in the pictures, identified as Diane O'Meara.
Right now, I'm not making any comment.
This information seems to back up what Te'o and Notre Dame insisted all along, that the star player, Heisman runner-up, and all-around genuine good guy was simply taken on a cruel ride.
This was a very elaborate, very sophisticated hoax, perpetrated for reasons we can't fully understand.
Deadspin.com, the website that Rich, as he mentioned, broke the story, identified the man behind the hoax as Te'o's acquaintance, but it's still unclear if and when the two men met. Rich. And
with more of the details, apparently the guy at the center of this has copped to the whole thing, and Te'o apparently with his family is trying to figure out, and some advisors, what his next step ought to be. Just for him personally, you have the NFL draft coming up not long from now. He's got to go to both the combine and have workouts, so he's got his professional career to worry about, and literally millions hang in the balance for him depending on where he would fall in the draft. This certainly not helping it. All right, let's separate football for a second here, because I think anybody in our age group, and I'm generously putting everyone in mind or whatever, is you got a hard time believing any guy in his early 20s or late teens would go on for a 2-year or however long relationship with somebody online and never meeting the person. But then I speak to some younger people, and they talk about Catfish, both the movie and now the show, that this is not an isolated incident. Do you buy this at all?
You bring up age and Catfish. I think you're talking about Catfish Hunter from the 80s,
exactly.
Right?
But no, this is this whole idea of this fictitious person that never exists, but yet dupes people to believing that there's, a mate for them on the other side that never ends up being a reality.
Yeah. Now we could talk about generational conditions here. The bottom line is that there are things now called video chat, right? You could get it on any Apple phone, any computer. So I would think that if it isn't online, it may be time to take the next step, not holding hands, but seeing the person.
Live on the edge and look at her, yeah.
Wow, there she is. I know you sent a picture. Maybe we could do a video chat. It's not like it's uncommon, right, Richard? So
the star linebacker for Notre Dame? I mean,
you don't need Match.com, Manti.com, anything like that, right? You don't have to go to Bedrock or Zion or Fancy Island or any fictitious place.
You wouldn't think you would have trouble finding company on a Friday night if need be, if you're the starting linebacker for Notre Dame.
Let's just take it at face value. Let's suspend our cynicism for a minute that this guy is, by all means, by all accounts, a practicing Mormon, and he's very devout, and he is the most naive person, according to both the school and those who know him, that's walking on two legs here, okay? My problem, though, comes down to, first of all, forget about the 4 or 5 times that he claims that her father dies, he never shows up to the funeral. She's in a terrible accident in a coma, he never goes and sees her. All these other things that don't seem to add up. But Dominic, after it all, after he came clean to the school and said it's not true, he kept talking about it in at least 2 interviews, maybe even 3, where he talks about her as if it was always real. It's just, your BS detector's blinking right now, right?
I really don't know what to say, because in our generation, if you say you got a girlfriend, Believe me, you got a
This
girlfriend.
is the ultimate Niagara Falls story, right? Where
Right.
it's like, oh yeah, geez,
and
I
you're
met her at
gonna,
camp.
and you're in your early 20s. I mean, I remember those days with my wife. I mean, she was probably wanting to say, "Get away from me," because I was around her so much.
I get where you're going. Okay, you can move on. Yeah.
You get the point.
Yes.
And so, I do see a situation where he could have been duped. We have to remember he's a star. He's a superstar. That's an early age, and so he doesn't want to get a girl pregnant, which is a major concern for football players.
Fat chance of that with this relationship.
Yeah, fat chance with this relationship. He's got to be careful. But I mean, come on, man. You didn't ask to see the girl in 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, I'm a huge Manti Te'o fan. I've got to cop to it. I hate this story. And the way the university embraced him after this fictitious girlfriend died.
Handled it?
I think they handled it wonderfully. I think they stuck by him, which is very brave of the university.
They kept their mouth shut and let this story keep going until after the bowl game.
After the bowl, I went down to Miami,
Right.
and I think everyone saw on national TV.
Poor sucker.
I watched the game, but he did not seem himself. I'm not sure that would have made the difference in the game, but he did not seem himself. But this is a wonderful young guy who carried a team on his shoulders all year. He had a great story, and when this fictional girlfriend died, the university embraced him in a wonderful and loving way. I think this is a sad story where this guy got trapped, and I think maybe he exaggerated the extent of the relationship. And this
I know I got to hit a break here.
inclination.
Question for you.
Yes.
If you had a Heisman Trophy vote, would you have voted differently knowing this story? How much would that have impacted?
Absolutely, because it's like when we watched the Olympics this summer, it wasn't about the athlete so much, it was about the backstory. How much adversity did that person overcome? And oh, wow, he had a girlfriend that died of leukemia. It was also in a car accident.
Same night that his grandmother died.
His grandmother died. I have more sympathy for that guy.
I think he earned his trophies on the field. I mean, he earned his trophies on the field.
I think this all brings up a couple interesting questions we're going to get into after the break, not just about Manti Te'o, although I got one about him, a hypothetical, but also about how we look at sports stars in today's day and age. I mean, look at what just happened with the Hall of Fame vote for Major League Baseball here. Look about some of the biggest icons and how we look at them now when they fall off a pedestal. It's something to talk about. When we come back, we'll get into it. Stay with us.